farm strategy actually worked out really well after deleting everything 2.4 in coin, 2.41 on supplies. So I've got 15,000 extra supplies. But farms at deletion will give you 50,000 in coin so that the surplus of supplies that I had actually balanced out perfectly in the end. Super efficient. I will definitely be doing this again. I'm in flat mode now. I'll finish setting up all my decorations for the end game. But make sure you guys keep one house when you get to this phase. If you delete all of your housing, it'll put your happiness to neutrality, which is weird. I don't really understand that, but I guess from Inno's standpoint, if you don't have citizens, there's no one to make happy, so it's just a race against cultural buildings versus decorations. But if you do have at least one house, you're looking at a totally different happiness metric. I think that's the rationale there. But do make sure that you keep one house planted. I've played with that before, and if you delete all of your housing, um, there's no coming back from it. Even if you plant a house after the fact, it just you can't salvage it. So let me get my decorations set up. I'll be right back with the final layout. All right, so halfway into planning monuments, um, but don't. I have the resources to continue planning monuments, but no, I don't have the happiness. I think that's where the house thing comes in. Because if you don't have a house, it's provided euphoria is zero, demand for euphoria is zero, so it's impossible to hit the 150% metric. But as long as you do have a house, you can plant a few amphitheaters and get back to euphoric because the demand for euphoria is 150. I've provided 450, so now we can keep going on monuments. Kind of a weird little glitch, but just be aware of that when you start deleting your city. Once you delete, if you do delete the last house, you can't replant one and get back on track. You'll just be in limbo land forever, essentially. Let's see. I might actually rush. This is the last season. I might actually rush an arch. Just so I can plant a few more. Like, you gotta spend your shards on the last season somehow, you know. I'll be right back with the final layout. Still have the resources for a couple more decorations, but the happiness metric will not allow me to plant anymore. I'll try deleting the house. I mean, I don't need it at this point, but I don't think it's gonna fix my happiness, honestly. Let's see if we can actually plant. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was saying. I have neutral happiness, so I should be able to go into the negative, but without that house in place, it just, yeah, the game does not recognize that you have happiness to use at that point. So now we're pissed off again with the addition of that. Still can't plant a monument. So point of no return there. Once you delete a house, like I said, you can't replace it with a cheaper house, so just plan that accordingly. Once you get into the end game, you do need one house, otherwise you'll hit this wall much sooner in the process. Essentially I ended up with 6 squares that I can't plant something on, which is really not the end of the world, you know. Plenty of monuments. I gotta let most of these cook for about an hour, but should be pretty spicy going into level 12. So talk to you guys later. Bye. Couple minutes away from reset here. I don't know what's up with this infinite node, but I mean, it works for me because I picked team blue, but it kind of sucks for anyone that chose team red or was hoping to donate something. I'll show you guys my city after I grab a few fights, but this is honestly like butter though. I'll throw in an archer sometimes just to save some ballista, but for the most part, it's just smash. Too easy. My main city stats are not, like, I've only finished, oops, forgot one, that's okay. My main city stats are actually not that beefy. It's just the city design from the settlement itself that's doing this. The fight is no longer available because the time has changed. Yeah, it's 10 o'clock now. We'll back out of it. Yeah. Well, at least it's blue again. Here's difficulty 12. Yeah, sometimes the little archer helps kind of cushion the blow on some of those combinations. But either way, I'll run out of actions before I run out of troops, you know? Throw a legionnaire in there if you want. Kind of depends on the enemy pair. So if the enemy has legionnaires, throw in an archer. If the enemy has soldiers, throw in a legionnaire. No ballistas on the first wave, so just use straight ballista against that. Same thing there. First wave has 2 ballistas, but it has soldiers as the other element there. So use a legionnaire. Ballistas, so we want to pair that, but then use an archer against the legionnaires. Make sense? No ballista first wave, just straight ballista. Legionnaires first wave, so we're going to use an archer. Rinse and repeat, my friends. Here's the settlement. Pretty lean on the housing, but it does the trick, yeah.